How did vanilla become the generic flavor of ice cream? Nowadays, vanilla being the baseline type is so ubiquitous it's become part of general language, but how did a flavor originally derived from a Mexican flower gain such ubiquity? User Fish09 answers, first, I am not a historian. I apologize if that is not allowed. I am just a dietitian with a passion for the history of food. I would defer to an answer from a historian on this topic. Much of my information will come from the article Making a Global Sensation, Vanilla Flavor, Synthetic Chemistry, and the Meanings of Purity by Nadia Berenstein. A large part of why we enjoy the flavors that we do is hard to quantify, but the vanilla beans were used in the cuisine of many cultures in the region, notably in the drink chocolate which was served to Cortez by Montezuma. Many of our spices that now are common were a rarity across the world. While vanilla was incredibly sought across the world, it wasn't until it was artificially created that the ubiquity of vanilla became solidified. The early days of its use in European cuisine were primarily as a component of chocolate, which enjoyed popularity in the 17th century. Though botanists throughout Europe attained specimens, they found their efforts fruitless without the melipona bee that pollinates the flowers. The stubborn plant was eventually transplanted to the French island of Bourbon. The transplanted vanilla orchid would remain fruitless until Charles Morton, a professor of botany, first successfully pollinated the orchid artificially. A method of hand pollination was also developed by a slave named Edmond Albius on a plantation in Bourbon. As demand increased in France for delicacies like vanilla chocolate and vanilla ice, French colonies began to expand cultivation in the Indian Ocean, West Indies, and Tahiti, as well as Dutch plantations in Java and German East Africa. Vanilla requires a labor-intensive process that requires beans to be dried, sweated, and cured, which that sometimes may require months of daily work and close attention. Fortunately, the decades of vanilla plantifolia's colonization of the globe coincided with rapid advances in synthetic organic chemistry. Vanilla was not the first synthetic flavor, this belongs to various fruit flavors, but it was the first luxury flavor to be produced synthetically. In 1874, German chemists Ferdinand Tiemann and Wilhelm Harman synthesized vanillin from coniferin. This discovery was widely reported and confirmed by Carl Reimer, who derived it from creosote tar. Vanillin did not enter the market cheap, listed at $1,500 a kilogram, considerably more than the cost of an equivalent amount of vanilla beans. New innovations in the production of synthetic vanillin lead to a drop in costs. New manufacturers across the United States and Europe challenged French and German companies' dominance of the market, caused the price to plummet from 560 DM in 1896 to 126 DM in 1897. By 1900, the U.S. saw a rapid increase in the sale of both vanilla beans and synthetic vanilla, corresponding to the expanding role of sweet foods in American life. Technological innovations created the ability to manufacture ice creams, chocolates, and other confectionery items on a large scale at a low price. Both artificial vanilla and vanilla beans prices continued to decrease throughout the early 20th century. Sugary vanilla-flavored treats became everyday indulgences due to the wide availability of cheap sugar and artificial vanilla. Today, over 95% of the vanilla products on the market come from artificially produced vanillin.